In Your Court, where you can get your weekly fix of sports, relationships / culture talk, and maybe a little foolery.
Maybe a lot of foolery.
A lot of foolery.
Maybe a lot.
Maybe. Showing, and trying to be classy, but showing all the, you know what.
Right.
I am KP, and right alongside me is co-host extraordinaire in so many different ways.
So many different ways.
You're
I
so
appreciate
talented.
Thank you. Well, some call me Braydience. KP calls me talented.
Should I just change your name to Talented?
I mean, hey, call me what you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Okay. So we are here to entertain the masses. Welcome to episode 1, everyone. We're, really excited to bring what we have in store for you. We've been working really hard behind the scenes on this. It's been an effort of love.
Right.
And sweat.
And lots of Starbucks.
And lots of Starbucks, which you'll hear in our voice in the not only this episode, but many episodes to come.
It's part of it's our shtick. They'll never know. Well, they will when they catch us on YouTube.
Right. That's right. Which, I'll be talking about that in a second too.
Right.
But we're really excited to bring all the ideas that we have, but we know it's one show at a time. Mm-hmm. Y'all would be the real MVPs if y'all would bear with us through our growing pains that, are inevitably going to come with new show-ish, et cetera, et cetera. You get it?
Right.
But, I want to talk about the first order of business. Before we even talk about social media.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about the first order of business.
First order of business is always subscribe. We're telling you to subscribe. We're telling everybody that you're telling about the show to subscribe. We're telling everybody who accidentally hears this to find us. Subscribe. Apple, Spotify, Google, and we don't want you to miss anything. So subscribe on all the platforms. And once you get tired of getting our notifications, you can turn your notifications off.
That's right.
Hopefully by then, you'll already know it's coming.
And if for any reason at all you cannot find The Ball is on In Your Court podcast, you can find us on social media. Right. So shameless plugs right now. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at better known as KP. I'm going to post info, obviously, about this show, additional content, mostly probably about sports, and whenever I feel like being messy. And on occasion where I ask for your help with the show, subject matter, and whenever I just feel like being messy.
Right. And if for whatever reason you can't find the podcast or better known as KP anywhere, you can come and bother me at Braydience. And that's going to be only on Instagram because that's the only place I want to hear from y'all. No, I'm just kidding. For right now, Braydience, it's just easier. And it's spelled Braydience. And that's where you'll be able to catch up with all my shenanigans and give us feedback, ask us questions, or just tell us we suck.
Yeah, period. One of the reasons why Braydience is just perfect for this is because her social media. So you will not be disappointed.
And, I feel like my social media is so regular, but I think people are more so entertained by the stories.
You just have real stories. Like, people relate to it.
Pretty much. I don't have to have a whole bunch of makeup on my hair. It's all over my head. But if I have something to say, I'm going to hop on stories. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna be animated, and it's gonna be
so
real.
Worth it. Yeah. And then I tend to just get petty. So
and I love it. I love it.
You won't be disappointed. We will be having a YouTube page as well. That's in the works. So everything you're hearing right now will be in visual form. Coming very soon. This episode included.
Lucky you.
We will be able to I can't with you. It's too early. It's too early to get off script. Stop. But that's coming soon. And there's going to be lots and lots of content. We have so many ideas. You have no idea how many ideas we have.
Activities. And
we're just willing to push it past the limit. We're going to shoot for the moon and land in the stars somewhere. So that's coming soon. Awesome. So here's how the show goes mostly. Typically, we're going to talk sports first. So that means you're going to hear me babble a lot on a lot of major sports stories. So if you want to talk stats and technical information about what I'm bringing to the table, probably not the place for you. I do have a just for the people in the back. I do have a background in sports radio. I've hosted a sports radio show, and I've also co-hosted sort of a variety
I have a crowd
show
cheering in my head.
Sorts. So I just want to give credentials. Hey, you know what? Gas me up. Why don't you?
Woo,
I just want to give some credentials. So I do know sports, but I want to try and keep this on some conversationalist talk. And I also want to ask the questions that you don't hear on ESPN. We get that opportunity to do that here. So I know that Stephen A, there's a lot of things he wishes he could say, but doesn't. So that's what we're here for.
Well,
so that's going to be the first part of it. So, these are going to be mostly major sports stories that intrigue us, make us go, wait, what?
I'm going to do a lot of that.
And that's good. And I want those questions too. You have great questions.
Right.
And your opinion. Oh, yeah, y'all just wait. Or some where we just plain need answers, like just why.
Right, literally.
Hashtag why.
And then y'all can come in and chime in and answer those why questions. But she's the sports person because she has that background, and I'm going to speak on relationships and culture. I don't have a background in either of the two other than actually being in a relationship.
And cultural.
And I do believe I am cultured AF. I mean, I'm from Louisiana.
Yep.
Here in Texas, just trying to figure it all out. I got a better half who's from the Midwest. That's weird, but you're
a classy broad.
Right.
What can we
So
say?
other than being in a relationship and having alternative views, I view myself as very progressive. So what flies in my household might not fly in everybody else's household, but my different point of view should be fun. For those who aren't privy to those differences. And then it's going to be like a weekly edition where we're going to have a segment called Let's Get Messy. Just so happens this week, the relationship and the messy part are going to tie into each other, but most of the time it's going to be something totally different. And that's when we really need feedback, because we're going to have a lot of differing opinions about a lot of different things. And that's what makes us work, because we can disagree and still have fun. So.
That's right. And yes, I can't wait for Let's Get Messy.
Oh, yeah.
We had to merge them today.
Oh, yeah.
It won't be like that all the time, but
right.
I have a feeling that you guys know what we're going to talk about anyway, but
unless you've been under a rock.
That's right. So that's really it in a nutshell, Peapod, or whatever you want to consider small. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about some sports. So I'm not going to dance around this. Let's just talk about Patrick Mahomes' contract. Yeah, he's a Super Bowl champion.
Is that who he thinks he is?
Yeah, I mean, in every facet of his life, probably. Goes to the steakhouse. Like, do you know who I am?
MVP.
So he, also, if you've been living under a rock or if you are not involved in the sports world, Patrick Mahomes II is a quarterback who in his third year has won the Super Bowl. And he's honestly going to probably end up being one of the best quarterbacks in football. Now, I've heard a lot of these pundits talking about comparing him to MJ. I'm like, chill. He's like 24.
Right,
like,
so
chill.
early.
Like, chill out. But let me ask you, Braydience. What if I'm painting a picture here.
Let's do this.
Okay. What if you come to a new job out of college? You just get out of college and you're like, man, sky's the limit. And then you go under contract with a company for a little bit, pays decent, but you just happen to have a better skill set than people your age typically do.
Okay.
So then you just start turning in your projects, stuff's best work they've ever seen, best work you've ever done.
I'm still waiting on the hypothetical part about
You know
this,
what I'm saying?
because
Right.
you're describing me.
Your life.
No.
It's true. And you start winning awards for it and all that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you are a superstar, right? Then the boss sits you down and says, I know you have a few months left on your contract, but, we like what you're doing here. We don't want you to go anywhere. So we'd like to pay you like the most money you've ever seen, or most money most people have ever seen in their lives, to keep you here. What would you do?
What's the catch?
Okay. That's what I'm wondering.
What's the catch?
Because you would be like Patrick Mahomes the second. Nobody ever says the second.
The second.
I love saying it though.
Let's do it.
But except for the last part about the outrageous amount of money that nobody's ever seen.
Right.
So let's just talk about this contract for a second. I just want to talk. I just have to talk about this because money.
Yeah, break it down for me.
So,
what is he getting and why and when?
So overall, he has the potential to make $502 million over the next 12 years.
Can we just say $500 million?
That's right. That's right.
Half
I mean,
a billion.
really think about it, like that. And he's barely 25 years old. I think he's 24.
Can he even rent a car with every car rental agency?
No.
See?
Well, I think it was 23 or 25.
25, I think.
You know, someone stop him and be like, "Sir, we're going to need you to put a credit card down. We can't use debit, then it's going to be a problem."
Right.
But no, potential to make $500 million.
Wow.
But half a billion, 0.5 if
That's
he
a
hits
change.
all of his incentives. So
Wow.
there's a little bit of a breakdown. I don't want to make it too boring, but these are like the top things. So like base value over the next 12 years is $477 million. So I'll explain that in a second. But I understand why they did it because the Chiefs saw something in him early. Like we wanted to lock this down early. Like I said, he won the Super Bowl 3 seasons in. So, and he was the Super Bowl MVP. So they want to lock him down now. He likes where he's at. I get all that. So right now, he's going to be making for the next 2 years almost $40 million a year. So technically 39.8 or something like that, right?
I mean,
somewhere around that.
If you want to get technical.
In 2022, he's going to start making $45 million a year.
That's ridiculous.
What's crazy is that they have bonuses for people who are like listen to these bonuses. There's a roster bonus, which is basically,
what does that even mean?
That means that as long as you are on the active roster, like the third day of the season, the league year, then you get the money. Then you get that bonus.
So in his case, it sounds like as long as you put your name at the top of the paper,
yeah,
you
so
pass the class.
So as long as he's not, that basically says as long as you're not injured or you're coming out from last season with injury and you're still injured, like something like that. Or for whatever reason, you're not on the active roster because you can be on the roster, but not the active roster.
Okay.
So when I tell you what these bonuses, it just makes you, there's money out there. It's just money just floating out there.
Things that make you go,
And then he has a workout bonus, which basically just requires him to have roughly 90% attendance rate for showing up to stuff that people don't usually, like the veterans usually don't want to go to OTAs, which is basically like organized training activities. That's what the acronym is. But basically between April and June on the off season, they have organized training activities. And most times veterans don't go to those.
Okay.
Because, you know, they're above it.
Is that what we see, like the rookies going out to meet little kids at their little football camps, or is that something else?
Well, yeah, they do. That's part of their contract too. They do have to. I don't think most players mind that though, but yeah, they do have to do their version of giving back, and there's mandated things like that. But this is not that. This doesn't include that. That means like workouts. It means like meetings, things like that. So he gets a bonus. Oh, yeah, for working out basically, and for attendance and things like that. So those are his two bonuses, and then he has an incentive. So starting in 2022, basically, if he gets to the Super Bowl, he gets $1.25 million, right? If he is the league MVP, he gets an additional $1.25 million. So that's what I mean. Like he's really not, and he would have to do that every single year for the next 12 years to make $502 million, right?
Right. So it's not likely.
Right.
But depending on what your motive is, I'm sure at some point he's like, okay, got to get the title. Got the title. But I mean, if my incentive is only a couple dollars on top of,
yeah,
it's like I'm good either way.
That's pocket change to him at this point.
Those are the taxes on a small purchase.
That's right. That's right. So I don't, I think it's just kind of one of those, if he makes it to the Super Bowl, if he's MVP.
Right. Right.
Or he tells his wife, here, have fun. Or his
Right,
girlfriend. No, he has a girlfriend right now.
Look, or in the middle of a conversation, I bet you my bonus, my MVP bonus, that this elevator is gonna come down before this elevator does.
Everybody's gonna be out that bet immediately.
Right.
Man, why you playing, man?
That's a little humble brag. I like it though.
But basically, I'm not gonna do the year by year breakdown, but basically it gets higher and fluctuates as the years go on. But he's guaranteed till 2031. And the first 2 years he's riding out his rookie contract, but roster bonuses is ranging from $21 million to $49 million.
We're doing
that's
wrong.
That's not even his base pay.
What did we do wrong?
I don't know.
Everything.
And then the workout bonuses, that it ranged from $100,000 to $550,000.
Oh my God.
Every year. So, and then his base pay ranges from this year, which is 10.8, to it'll peak in 2027, where he'll make $59.95 million.
This stuff is
base pay.
This isn't even relative to me. I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Like, how do you live like that? Wow. Like,
I have no motivation to be responsible with my money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it anyway. Let's just go do dumb stuff.
But how do you be responsible with that kind of money? What would you do?
I don't have any motivation.
What would you do? What would be the first thing you did with that kind of money?
If I know that I have that 400 and what was it?
So let me say, for example, this year he's not gonna. That contract doesn't go into effect till 2022, and then I'll also add that all the rest of the years aren't guaranteed until 2 or 3 years out.
Okay.
Ahead of time. So like in 2025, it won't be guaranteed till his third league day of 2023, right? So it's not guaranteed today, but as long as he's still playing.
So how much is guaranteed
today? That $63.82 million. And so that's basically including his signing bonus, the first 3 years of his salary, and his 2021 and 22 roster bonuses.
I'm doing something ignorant.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. You know, everybody wants to say, I'm going to invest. I don't have to invest if I'm making that much money. I don't have to invest right now because I didn't make this money invested. I make this money playing football.
That's right.
So I'm going to keep playing football and I'm going to keep making this money. In the meantime, I saw this island that, you know, not too many people inhabit. Maybe I could buy a couple islands.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a way to get to this island.
That's
so
right.
Let's get us a boat.
Yep.
Let's go pick the SS Minnow Johnson.
Oh, I'm going to be ridiculous. If I have money like that, I'm going to be completely asinine with how I spend.
Oh, God, yes.
Like, what, like, now, let me say that I'm probably going to put money away, you know.
Oh, well, yeah.
But take what you got left, you know, by the end of your career, and he's going to retire. When he retires, he's going to be what, 30, 35, 36?
When we're just figuring it out.
So, and that's not the end of his life.
Right.
You know, newsflash. Someone's going to hire him to do something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's
not even endorsements.
Get out of my head. That's not even including endorsements. That's what I'm saying. This man is rich. Have you followed him on my Instagram?
I've been following him recently, but I mean,
he was on a boat trip playing Handsome and Wealthy. Like
the SS Minnow Johnson.
That's right. And he's just like, I feel alive. Like I would too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I would definitely, I'm blowing the first 5. I don't have it. I don't.
Oh, blow it.
I won't have anything to show for it. I don't need anything. Let's just go. I want some
extra
pizza.
Chick-fil-A sauce. Throw it in the bag.
Throw it in. Can I get some guacamole on my Chipotle bowl, please?
That's right.
Guacamole for everybody.
Now we living.
Everybody in the building gets guacamole.
You get it. You get it. You get it.
Right.
But yeah, so there's the signing bonus. Yes, that's guaranteed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, like now.
Mm-hmm.
But when they say guaranteed money, that basically means that no matter what happens right now, he's still going to be getting paid up until 2022. Wow. But, you know, he's not going to see the money right now.
Right, right.
So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a second because, like I said, I would be just, like, I would have gold-plated bobby pins. I would have...
And we lose those all the time.
Platinum combs. Like... I'm like just ridiculous things that you don't. Who's like that? Somebody's like Master P. Master P is like that.
You're gonna be Master P. Okay.
And
Master, can I call you Master KP?
when I'm making that kind of money,
I insist. I won't answer to
so,
anything less.
It's just so wild to me.
Oh, yes.
That is so wild.
We're going, I would like to have dinner in Milan and dessert. I want authentic crepes. Can we please go to Paris?
No, but what would be the first thing that you would buy?
I'm buying plane tickets. I'm buying lots of plane tickets. Honestly, I'm going to everybody who's closest to me. We are getting on a plane, and I might not even buy plane tickets. I actually have a really good friend of mine who sets up the private travel on airplanes for some of the biggest celebrities in the game, football, even our football teams. And I'd give Sabrina a call and say, hey, let's go ahead and get a jet set up. I remember her telling me one time, she's like, just the fuel for some random plane she named. She's like, just the fuel for it is $5,000.
That's the same thing with a yacht.
Nothing. That's nothing if I'm making.
Throw it in the bag.
Right. Just, that's fine.
But can you imagine the people that, like the family members he hasn't talked to in like 20 years?
Oh, my family.
Or
My family members know better. No, ma'am. No. I don't even, no. Thanks, but no thanks.
Like, hey.
All these cousins.
It's me.
Remember, I saw you at the family reunion back in
1940.
Right.
No, but and then they'll out of nowhere all of a sudden they need $50,000.
Right.
So like $50,000, like yeah. So I already see that coming for him. But all said and done, he deserves it. He did something in 3 years that at his position that is not that's not a regular instance. So he deserves, hey, if the Chiefs like it, I love it. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
What are you
I'm
going
to
do?
strive for that kind of greatness. But,
Right.
But you know what? I bet you he's sitting there right now thinking about how, like, all those late nights, all the times he wasn't playing, kicking it with his friends, all that stuff is finally paid off.
Right.
He made it.
Congratulations.
I don't know if you know, but the NBA is restarting. I'm a little excited about this.
You know what I know about the NBA restarting? I know that they are doing chugging contests.
I heard that too.
That is all that I have seen so far.
But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Literally in a bubble. Did you see? And I'm so sorry. I hope you weren't going to speak on this. There was some guy who was like, he tweeted out, he was like, hey, you can get DoorDash food delivered.
Listen.
And then like a couple minutes later, he's like, never mind.
Because
apparently he's got to be quarantined.
That's right. He had to start his quarantine over, you dumbass. Hey, everybody. Come with me. Come off the bridge.
Right. Never mind. This the one word text that followed. I mean, tweet that followed. Never mind.
Yeah,
that just sent
period.
me swinging.
Period with a T at the
with
end.
A period.
Period. But the NBA campus in Orlando, or affectionately nicknamed the Bubble. Not really, because the NBA hates that term, the Bubble. I don't know why.
Where did it come from? Who gave him the bubble?
Who knows? I think maybe the media. Who knows? Okay. But I mean, that's what I picture. I picture like a giant bubble where all the NBA players are, and you cannot enter if you have no basketball talent.
Right.
Or if you are not the media. That's what I picture. I just picture a giant bubble over the wide world of sports at Disney World in Orlando, which is where they are right now.
Like a fortress.
So the NBA is back in a condensed and tightened version, if you will. So the pandemic obviously shut down the NBA season with about a quarter of the season. 75% was played.
Okay.
5 months ago. And so right now, honestly, the players would be
out of shape. Is that not where you were going?
Yeah. No, they'd be living their best lives. They'd be in the strip clubs. They would be on vacations with booze, side pieces, whatever. And because, April is the playoffs, and then usually the finals end in June.
Okay.
So yeah, basically everybody's kind of out of shape or at least taking a break.
Right. Okay.
In July. But instead, people are ramping up, and this is the time where people get married. If you're in the league, if you have wedding, most of the time it's during this time of the year, because that's when you can take. So obviously this is different. So there's so many. Okay, so the NBA, and then the NBA has a players association where the president is Chris Paul, who's an active player.
Cliff Paul's brother.
That's right. That's right. I know you like Cliff Paul.
I love
know
Cliff
you
Paul.
Yeah.
Shout out to State Farm for
That's right.
the coolest commercials ever.
I know you love him. I know you like him more than you like Chris Paul.
Yes.
But so they're going to be, like I said, at Walt Disney World in the wide world of sports. And just incidentally, they opened Disney World back up to the public on the 11th. So Disney World is open. You just can't go to the bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So how the NBA has it set up is basically there's 30 teams in the league, but only 22 have been asked back because those are the ones that have the best records. So they're going to play 8 regular, I'm using air quotes, regular season games to finish out the season. So top 7 teams on each side will advance. And then like to have there's 8 seeds on each side, 8 teams on each side that play in the playoffs. So for the 8 seed, they're going to do some tournament style best of like a couple. I think they're going to play like 2 games.
What in the jamboree?
And then whoever wins, I don't know. Like I read that and I was like, how's that should it be an odd number? Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but
just play paper, rock, scissors and get it over with.
So they're going to do some tournament style thing for the last spot. And then the playoffs will take place as usual, except there are no fans. You all have to play in the same court in sweaty wide world of sports in the same arena. And the families aren't even allowed to be on campus, aka the bubble, until the playoffs. And I don't even know how far into the playoffs it is, but it just kind of has me wondering a little bit.
Right, of course.
You get it in the regular season. The families get it, like, daddy's gone, or like, you got a little your boo's playing sports. And so, between, October and more or less April, he's going to be all about basketball. But this is different. Right. So, and we're in a pandemic, so they're isolated. They said, listen, they said they could leave, but they can't, not unless you, like, we're not holding you here, but don't go outside. Because that tweet told you everything.
Right.
When he said, never mind, that's it right there. They said at some point they're going to let them have like personal chefs that cook.
Oh, because
but they cook, and then they'll have to bring it to the campus. It can't just be sauteing in the hotel room.
Aww. But, this, I feel like it's going to be a different dynamic for them, but I'm sorry. As you're talking, I'm still trying to picture how they're going to play this game without fans in the stands, because I'm hearing the announcer. Hearing this and I'm wondering, who the hell is he talking to?
Right.
Like,
how's he getting this hype?
Right.
It's gonna be an echo too.
Right. On the opposing team.
Oh, that's
so
right.
And so. Like, they're coming through the tunnel and it's like, is the opposing team gonna clap for him? Or what's gonna happen?
I hope the NBA is listening to this, because I don't know if they figured that out yet.
Right. I want to see what happens when on the big giant screen it says get louder. Like, I want to know what's gonna happen at that point. Who's gonna get loud? Are the coaches, are there gonna be not water boys? What do you call the people that clean up the floor, the sweat people?
I'm having a brain.
Those guys, whoever those teenagers belong to, are they going to be there to clean up the sweat on the floor? Are there what's going to is there going to be a halftime? What happens at halftime?
Nothing. It's just like if you go to a high school basketball game,
Nothing.
Except there's no people there.
Just go to concession stands. Go to the restroom. That's your restroom break.
But early on, I heard something about the coach not even being allowed to be at the bench, which I think they've changed, because it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I think that's changed. But things keep changing all the time in it. But overall, I feel like this is such a humbling experience, on just depending who you are in the league. If you are on one of those teams that did not make it, maybe you're fine with it. Maybe you're a little butthurt. Who knows? But also, they set up accommodations for the teams that were invited based on their records. So like, it's not like I'm saying there's any crappy hotel rooms at Disney World.
Wait.
But I am saying.
Wait, what?
that the top seeded teams got the newest hotels.
Wait, what?
And the lowest seeded teams got the not new hotels.
I'm sorry, what? Wait. So it got pettier?
Yeah.
Then petty.
Oh, we're not done. No, we're not done.
Oh my God. What the heck?
No, we're not done.
Okay, so who, just because and you guys will figure out, I'm not big on following sports. So y'all are gonna be watching my growth. So right now, who has the best room? What team has the best rooms?
Oh, the Lakers and the Clippers. For sure. Yeah.
So LA is going head up.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, good to know, because I have no clue.
Yeah.
Last time I paid attention, it was Golden
They
State.
were eating good too. LeBron James posting on Instagram about it. I saw it was Taco Tuesday. The taco looked amazing. One of these other, I don't even remember the name of the player. That's how like, he's not a superstar, but he posted his meal and it looked horrible. It was like pasta in a cup.
Oh no.
And then it had like watermelon and like lettuce in a I think on a plate or a styrofoam box.
That's classism.
Yeah.
Or something.
So I'm saying the levels of
oh
humbleness during this
a cup of noodles.
Restart. It was like, have you ever bought that box pasta salad? I forgot what it's called, but
you talking about, it's like in a green.
Yeah, and it's got those spiral noodles.
I know exactly
That's what,
what you're talking about. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's called, is it called pasta salad?
Pasta amazing
or salad something. I just know it's in like a little green. I think it might be by Kraft.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's what it looked like. And it was just basically showing like the levels.
Buffet food.
And then like he had like sushi lined out. LeBron did and stuff like that. A little artistic sauce on the bottom of the plate. So these levels says also there's a official snitching hotline for snitches.
What do you
who
mean?
Want to snitch on other potential snitches that violate protocol in the bubble. So there's a hotline. So like if you see someone who didn't wash their hands or like you just want to hate on somebody, you can call this anonymous hotline in the bubble. Like this was an actual story on ESPN. And they said it was a headlining story. Like they were saying that several calls were made to the the protocol hotline. I forgot what they officially call it, but it's a snitching hotline.
So there are Karens on this bubble.
Yeah.
Like specially placed Karens to...
No, it could be me. It could be LeBron. It could be media. It could be anybody.
Oh my God.
But apparently there's this phone number. Maybe they placed it in everybody's hotel room.
So is there an incentive to snitch?
No, if you're a hater, that's you feel whole just knowing that you did your job today.
Oh my God, the world is a better place because
I feel great.
Oh, check me out. That's old. Oh
so so if on some level I don't blame him though, because after what happened with him sending that all hands tweet, hey.
Oh.
Yo.
Never mind. Talk about if Homer Simpson meme was a person.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Back into the bushes. But, okay, so, yeah, I was wondering a couple things because, first of all, what do you do if you have that much time alone but you're rich? Because they are offering activities like playing, 2K or Madden, or they said they're going to have a DJ. They're going to have a live DJ.
To do what?
I have no idea. I don't know where they're going to be. But this is what I read.
Who's going to dance?
Who knows? I feel like they could make that happen, though.
I mean,
the NBA's going to be like, well, we have a surprise for you guys. Glad you all could make it.
Pizza party.
There's more than pizza tonight.
Right. Got a little DJ.
Thanks for coming on short notice, but we have a little surprise for you. Out comes the NBA-approved quarantine-free stripper.
Come on. Is she in a bubble? Is she too in a bubble?
No, but I feel like her beginning look would be a hazmat suit.
Oh, you know what? Very
with the times.
What's Monsters Inc. 2319? Very
so
very 2319.
Yeah, so they have activities like that, but what do you do? Like, you're rich now. Now there's some players like Joel Embiid. He grew up in very humble surroundings, and he says like this is not a big deal for him. Like, hotel's paid for. I don't have to worry about my meals. I'm cool with it. Like whatever. I'm just happy to play basketball again.
Right.
And I'm getting paid.
Right.
So
I'm getting paid to be at Disney World, to be stuck at Disney World.
that's right. And
woe is me.
there's a rumor that they'll have access to the park at night, but I don't know how true that is.
Now, I think that's pretty cool because at the end of the day, we look at these guys as these multimillionaire giants, but they are really just big kids.
Yeah.
They are big, goofy kids. And to see these big 12-foot people on Splash Mountain.
That's right. I feel like they would build bonds that they wouldn't otherwise build
Right.
during this. So I feel like they could take the opportunity to do that. With that said, however, these people are still rich. Like LeBron is not trying to be in a hotel room next to J.R. Smith, who's tweeting about, the menu.
Everything.
He's like, short ribs. Ooh. He's like, sushi. Damn. So, yeah. But my thing is, would you be okay with, if you have a family, would you be okay with leaving your family for up to 3 months? Because if they play the finals, if your team makes it to the finals, the championship, the last game will be in the middle of October.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there now.
Right.
They just checked in and potentially will be there until the end of October. And the families can't even come until the playoffs. And even then, they can't stay together and, X, Y, Z. So it's like, can you do that? Are you okay with, like, how these? Okay, I'm about to say something right now.
Let's do it.
It's the last thing I'm going to say about all of this whole topic. These are NBA players, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this tone of my voice. And, they get attention, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, can you go 3 months without getting some? I'm just saying, because a lot of these people have, allegedly have jump offs. I use it. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Have jump off or wives or girlfriends. And I'm just saying, man has needs.
Well, being more progressive, you also have to take into consideration that some of them are right where they want to be. It took you a second. See, some of them won't miss a thing. See, so I believe that catch your breath. Close your mouth.
I want to ask something, but I don't know what to ask. There's so many thoughts in my head right now.
Well, no, I mean, you just got to think maybe it's just not the worst place. Maybe some people are, they might be booed up. This might be, where they need to be with boo, to be with bae, to be with the side piece. To be with the main piece that they just haven't told anybody about yet. So, it's not.
Okay, I'm here now. I was late to the party, but I'm here.
Okay,
I
have no. I'm so curious as to where you were, though.
I was like, how are these people got?
You thought I was sneaking somebody in? No. This is everybody who's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think that honestly it's gonna be as big of a deal, and I believe money talks. So if LeBron wants Savannah there bad enough, baby,
make her appear.
What's their daughter name? Zuri?
Yeah.
Zuri gonna be like, y'all shut up. Don't say nothing. My mama and daddy need some alone time.
Right.
Get out the way. Go eat a taco and let me handle this. And all it's gonna be well. Because I mean,
you really think so?
Like I said, listen,
you're right. Money
talks. And if I am a kitchen worker at Disney and I am serving LeBron James on a regular, baby, if he throw me a couple $1,000 just to shut up my holler, listen, I'll be like, y'all come through the back. We're gonna do this Underground Railroad style.
That's right.
I want you to braid your hair like this. This is gonna be your map to get to the tunnel where you will meet LeBron, and he will then take you by way of golf cart.
Right.
Back to this room. And,
he'd be in plain sight. They'd be like, what up, LeBron? I'd be like, what's up?
Who gonna check me?
Right. Exactly. He runs the league.
Right. Zuri just gonna stand up there with her arms folded. And what? She's gonna Blue Ivy this whole situation. Because that's who. Right. Shh, just calm down.
Put her hand on your arm. It's okay.
Right. It's okay.
But yeah, I don't know how that's gonna happen. I think Stephen A. brought it up on ESPN a couple weeks ago. He's like, man, a man got needs. Like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna be able to handle this? I'm just saying. But I mean, I feel like after everything is said and done, at maybe next year, we're gonna hear so many stories about.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm just waiting for the tell-all. Somebody gonna snitch because they have a snitching hotline for snitches who want to snitch on other potential snitches for violating protocol.
I love it. I love it.
But I'm excited for the season. It starts July 30th. There's a double header. Won't be doing anything that night. But yeah, I can't wait for that. But and also no fans there, and like you said, no public address announcer. I don't think that will be announcing the starting lineup, but there will be color commentators and announcers for like TNT and ESPN and all that stuff. Okay. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see all that. But the NFL is doing the same thing. They're not going to have fans either. So
we will see. But you know what? Before we go too far off of relationships or the lack thereof, another topic that we are going to cover today, again, unless you have been under a rock, you have heard all of it. We are talking August Alsina.
Well, I had to grab my drink for this one.
Get your tea, girl. Jada Pinkett Smith and Willard. I don't want his name to be Willard. I really don't. I really want it to be William.
Yeah, it is though.
I really don't. Anywhoosies, we're not gonna harp on that because it is what it is. Just to get in case you have been in a bubble or under a rock or just the most expert level of minding your own damn business, you know about the whole love triangle. So just to give you a little background, if you haven't heard, I want to say back in 2015, Jaden Smith actually introduced his mom to August Alsina at a music festival that was taking place in London. And it just so happens this was amidst the time where there were divorce rumors swirling around Jada and Will. We didn't know, they didn't really address them at any point. So we just kind of chalked it up as being rumors. But around the time that they were introduced to one another, August Alsina was also fighting a bunch of different demons in regards to opioid addiction. He had some health issues, death in his family, ended up having to take care of his nieces. It was just a lot going on. And so he turned to Jada for some, hey, help me out with this. I'm kind of struggling. I'm kind of drowning. There's a lot going on. And she apparently took to him, that was again 2015. 3 years later, apparently both of their birthdays are in September, so they both wrote these extra passionate, extra lovey-dovey, oh, you're so amazing, you're so perfect posts on Instagram, very public posts. And we kind of forgot about them for a little while, but rumors start swirling again. But baby, not even 6 months later, August Alsina comes out with his own version of this song by Kehlani called Nunya. So he remixed it. Now, I don't know if you were able to catch the visuals, but it was a video. He put out a video of it.
I saw it.
Okay, so it was a real-time text thread.
Here for it.
That was basically between him and a young lady named Corinne, spelled Koren. Do you know who Corinne is?
Who is that?
Wait. Not Corinne, not that.
Oh, okay.
Not that. Not.
I was about to say.
No.
Well, hold on. Let me put my drink down.
No, so it's actually Jada Pinkett's middle name, and it's spelled Koren. So it's very specific.
That is bold.
But wait, it gets bolder. So as we see this name,
this guy.
If you don't know that that's her middle name, you don't bat an eye until he uses a GIF in the text thread and actually has a GIF of her from Low Down Dirty Shame.
That's right.
So that's when everybody's like, holy
messy.
Right, exactly. So in the context of the text, it basically seemed like he had went ghost on her. She didn't know where he was. He wasn't responding to her. And he apparently had moved on because she would not make him a priority. And this is what we gathered from the text messages. And like I said, that's when he ended up dropping the GIF of her or whatever. And she hit him with well, it doesn't have to be like this. And he's like, I don't care. It's too late.
That's so accurate. I'm sorry, but that's so accurate if you think about what Jada said.
Exactly.
Red Table Talk.
Right. So now up until we got that, and it was radio silence. Nobody knew anything. And that happened, like I said, I want to say at the beginning of 2019. So here we are a year later, maybe a year and a couple months. And August Alsina does an interview with another host. Mm-hmm. And in this interview, he basically confirms his relationship with Jada. mind you, at this point, we already know the relationship happened. We just don't have the details because everybody was already speculating that Will and Jada had an open marriage or just something that was non-traditional.
I can barely stand it.
Right. So, okay. Even, in this interview, he even goes as far as saying William, we'll call him William because that's just what I want to call him. William gave him permission.
Right.
To do whatever it was that he did with Jada. Now, she has a show called Red Table Talk, and it took her forever to bring herself to this red table, but she finally did. And in the Red Table Talk, she posed herself as the guest, and Will was the person who wanted answers, apparently answers that he already had. And
he looked butthurt.
He was so sad,
so butthurt. But we'll get to that.
Right, but in this interview, she introduced everyone's new favorite word to either love or hate. What word is that, KP?
That would be entanglement.
Entanglement. So a lot of people had never heard the word before, but you know what? I don't even want to give that point of view. Let's just say, while some people think that she took that term and tried to lessen whatever it was that she had with her in August, there are some people who are just like, hey, it was what it was. And what I want to know from you is, are you of the group of people that thinks that she tried to downplay it and maybe even took advantage of him? Or are you like, hey, man, it was what it was. That man caught feelings and, that's his bad.
Absolutely. I am definitely on the side of she played it. She definitely downplayed it.
She downplayed
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what exactly do you think she downplayed?
She downplayed the heaviness of their relationship. She downplayed Will's let me rephrase. She I'll get to Will in a second. She downplayed August's feelings for her. She downplayed the role she had in messing someone's life up. She did not understand how big her responsibility was as the older person, the bigger person, supposed to be the person that's supposed to help with the healing. She did not understand how important a role that was for somebody who was as sick, as they say, as he was at the time.
So wait, real quick, before you go further, are you saying she was frivolous with that responsibility, or she didn't understand that responsibility?
I think she's smart enough to know that.
Ooh,
yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. So we're on two different ends.
Yeah,
I
think she's smart enough to know that how to play that situation, because just having Will at the table just speaks volumes.
Right.
First of all, I feel that whole conversation was, we hit some bullet points and then we're gonna go out and talk. But we're it's a united front. Y'all are married. I get it. Y'all want to stay together, and we're gonna do what we need to do to show everybody
marriage
that
for life.
That's right. But let's just be real here. Like, you cannot sit in front of a man who is your husband, supposed to be your life partner, and have a conversation and say things like, I just wanted to feel good. You cannot say that. You cannot. I could not look a man in the eye who is supposed to be my life partner and be like, he asked her point blank, like, you didn't have to get that raw and uncut with it.
And that's the thing. I think once you made it to the red table, you do have to be that raw. It's no point in holding back at this point.
So let me tell you what I think was happening without them actually saying it, right?
Okay.
I think that, and Will alluded to this, first of all, I think Will is not innocent. I think Will is butthurt because his ego is hurt because everybody knows about
this. We don't know about him, though.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is, like, if you guys have an agreement, it's like, just don't get caught up. Don't do anything stupid. And, make sure nobody hears about it. And I don't want to know about it. Right.
Right.
But yeah, she hit the look on his face when they even started the conversation. First of all, he had been crying for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell by the redness in his eyes and the puffiness around it. So that's the first thing. But you can't justify having a whole relation. I get that they say that they were apart, and we're just finding out about this, that they were allegedly apart. But you cannot, like, him being there. That's too much. Like, I feel like he didn't even want to be there.
Well,
But
but as a married couple,
right.
you have to do that. You have to do
Disagree
it
and
that way
commit.
to get that point across, so that we don't not believe what Jada is saying, so that we don't not, catch what she's throwing at us. He had to be there. But where our opinions differ, first of all, just speaking on the Will and Jada aspect of it, I don't think they were honest with the status of their relationship. Like you said, I believe they had this agreement, and that's what I wanted them to come out and say. I really wanted them to come out and say, we have an open relationship, or we are allowed to do this, that, and the other within reason, or as long as it's being kept. I think the problem now with for Will is that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, and even when it was speculation, it was okay, but now they can put a face to your wife's
That's right.
face.
That's right.
So there's that. But then also I feel like for the Jada and August aspect of it, I disagree with you. I don't think she took advantage of him at all. And I would be willing to bet money that she took her position, her healing position, her let me help you position seriously, and he made the first move and probably didn't stop pushing up on her until she gave in. At the end of the day, yes, she is older, but let's say she is going through what she said she was going through with Will. At that point, not only are you you got your own personal stuff, you're trying to help this other person, but you're also in a vulnerable state. And baby, these young men are different these days. They push up a little bit different than what we're used to.
That's right.
So
that's true.
And for this to be an older woman, and you got to come correct with this older woman, your approach is probably going to be a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Because she's freaking Jada Pinkett. Like, every black man that I know has at some point found her attractive and been like, man, if I could get, if I could just, so now that he has this opportunity, I'm not going to flub it.
He took it. Yeah, I get it.
He took it. And then it just turned into something else, where initially, like I said, she started off as helping him. And once you spend so much time with somebody and you get this affinity for them, and you just want to see them do good, you want to see them happy, there's a thin line between that and romantic feelings, I believe.
That's when the entanglement happened.
That's when
it started.
And so are you okay calling it an entanglement? Because I think that's the perfect word to describe
isn't an entanglement like a complicated relationship?
Exactly. And I think that people just made a big deal about calling it even Will, he was like, you saying it's an entanglement, it was a relationship.
Say what it is.
Well, I believe that that's just a term that people weren't familiar with. Even Will himself, I don't think he was familiar with the term, so he didn't think that it was befitting. He thought that maybe that term downplayed the relationship. Well, if you're not looking at it as a relationship, then that's just not what it is for you. That how many times have you had a homeboy, say, oh man, we was just smashing, or I was just messing with that girl. We went, right. But if you talk to her, it's something totally different.
Right.
That's just like from her standpoint, it's some sort of relationship, even if it's a physical relationship. He don't even want to acknowledge it as that, though. So for him, it's just an entanglement. It's just a complicated situation that we found ourselves in. We don't have to put a title on it, but this is how I want to describe it. And I think it's nothing wrong with her describing it like that, regardless of whether he said poor baby, he said he gave his all to her.
Okay. So that's where I say I would agree with you, except that he said if he died tomorrow, he would be okay knowing that I'm like, that's deep.
You know what I say to that? Yo, bad.
But all I'm saying is that he may have went in saying like, man, I can't believe I got Jada. Because, he was dabbing up all his close homeboys.
Of course.
When that happened, right?
I am me. And if I smash Jada Pinkett, bitch, I'm coming down.
Calling everybody.
I'm that KP. Guess what I just did?
That's what I'm saying.
Holy night.
But then the tide turned at some point, and he started having real feelings for her. And then she was like, well,
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll tell you, but
I'm about to go to Walmart. You want something?
Right. Exactly.
But that's his bad.
But then that should have been at that point. If that was an entanglement to her, she should have just let it go. But we don't know enough, right? Because she played it down so much. Maybe that was at the point where she was like, well, we're just going to have to let this go. And he stopped talking to her because he got mad. You know, and oh, by the way, I'm still married, and yeah, maybe I should try to work it out with my husband.
Well, and I honestly, I don't even think she downplayed it. I think she told us more than what we deserve to know, because it's not our business.
It's not.
I think she said what needed to be said. She confirmed what needed to be confirmed. We don't need to know how long they had sex, how long it actually went on, if they had sex, where they had sex, whether or not Will Smith knew that they had sex or not. I think with Will and Jada, there have been a lot of revelations, a lot of things that were taboo to us, to the Black community, before they came along, and they have enlightened us to so much. And I'm saying, just going down the list, one of the first things that we saw from Will and Jada that we thought were weird, or excuse me, one of the first things we heard was that they're in an open relationship. We are looking at that like, what? Other people are looking at,
and how they parent their children.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna get there too.
Yeah.
So, other people are looking at that like that's normal. That ain't, that's nothing new to us. But the Black community, we're like, open relationship. They done shook the table. So then fast forward from that, then we get introduced to Trey's mom, and we see the relationship that Jada and Will have with Trey's mom, and all we know from co-parenting is mostly turmoil. That's just what we're used to. So,
or high and by.
Right. So not only are they cool, they vacation together. Oh my God, this is bananas. So we see that, and then we see how they raise their kids. Mind you, everything that they have exposed us to, at first it was a shocker. Now it's normal. We don't look at the relationship that they have with Trey's mom, or even the fact that they're in an open or could possibly be. It's like, okay, we already know that. So now we're not batting an eye. So now they're putting us on to faces that go along with these stories, this particular one. And it's a big deal to us, again, because this, like I said, goes back to the open relationship thing. This is just something new that they're exposing us to that other people have been doing.
Man, that's like this. I compare this to someone cheating on someone, right? And then they admit it. Like years ago, right? But then they tell someone years later, it's new to that person. You what? They're still together, but they admit, hey, back in 2012, I had this thing, and they're hurt like they're in the. That's us. Like we're the afflicted person right now. We're like, what? But the last thing I'm gonna say on is that Will is not innocent either. That's my belief. I don't know it to be a fact, but I've believed for years that they've had an open relationship. Will is not innocent. He definitely alluded to that when he said, "I'm gonna get you back" with his little petty self.
Right, but her response was,
and she was like, "Oh, I think you did that already. I think
you could have done it."
And he was like, "Yeah, I think you're right about that."
Yeah, but no, I'm not done.
Yeah, that was, yeah. So yeah,
right.
Now that this has happened, he's probably like, "Hall pass." Again, another one.
Right. Which one?
Who's it gonna be?
Right.
Oh, that gift where the man's rubbing his hands.
Right. Schmorgas. Look, it's gonna be like the on Rush Hour 2 when they got to pick. You want to go to America? You want to come to? You have American money. That's
it.
He's gonna get to pick like that.
But yeah, he's not innocent, and I felt bad for him in that moment because his ego was bruised. Has been damaged.
And I think that is literally just because everybody knows who now. Everybody knows who.
And if you listen to the other Red Table Talk that they had, where they were like real about everything, real raw and uncut about everything, and he admitted to how immature he was, and that he's still a work in progress. Like that speaks so many volumes now, because when he says stuff like "I'm gonna get you back," stuff like that, like that makes me think, yeah, he totally is not innocent.
Oh yeah,
he's totally out in these. Yeah, he's. You know what I said to you on the phone? I said, Jada, for these streets.
And I don't say that. That's not. I just listen. I just think it's different. I think it's
complicated.
It's very complicated, and it's not for everybody. I think it just takes to be in a marriage and even get to the point where you actually have to have that conversation. Yeah. Oh my God, it's
man. She was confronted with that conversation. That did not come out.
Well, I'm saying just the conversation of dealing with other people outside of your marriage.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, to have to deal with that, and now to have to deal with it on a public front, if for no other reason than because you guys have in the recent years made yourself so public to everybody. Yeah. If this happened before Will Smith got his Instagram, it would be, it would have been a
Water
high
under
and
the bridge.
Exactly. High and by, not a big deal. But now we see y'all constantly. We look forward to seeing y'all. Everybody wants that.
And we see him now.
Right.
I see him in a different light now. A little bit of a different. I still think he's awesome, but I see him in a bit of a different light now. Like, oh, okay, well, you're human too.
Right. And for me, it's just more so like, dang, it sucks y'all couldn't keep it player. Like, that's the only thing. Outside of that, I don't feel sorry for Jada. I don't feel sorry for August. Yeah, it sucks that, but I mean, people get their heart broke every day.
I don't feel sorry for August. Let me just say that too before we wrap up. I don't feel sorry for August at all. He knew what he was getting into.
Right.
Like, come on. Like,
went a little too deep. You got a little.
I don't care if she said, I'm leaving him. I don't.
No, it's not gonna happen.
She's still technically in the marriage, so like, there's feelings still there. If anybody says I'm like, just put a pin in it. We'll talk about the relationship later.
But he doesn't. You don't want to hear that when you're falling in love with somebody. Yeah, you might hear that, but something in your mind might still feel as though you can change that person's mind. But you gotta think when people tell you sometimes I'm gonna leave, they be lying. So if somebody's telling you I'm not leaving my husband or I'm not leaving my wife, you better believe what they saying.
Yeah.
You better either learn how to play your position or hang your cleats up and retire. But retire in silence. We don't need you making a PSA. We don't need to know that you could die today knowing that you gave your all to somebody. Yo bad.
Right.
Yo bad, player.
So even though I feel like we're going to have to put a pin in this, and I feel like we should touch on this next week.
Let's touch it.
But I definitely, nobody's guilty. Nobody's innocent here. That's for sure.
And see, you say nobody's innocent, and I say nobody's guilty.
Oh, you know what? Why do you guys do that right now?
Because I'm just saying.
We're gonna definitely have to talk about this next week when we'll bring the Let's Be Messy segment to the table.
Right. We feel like this was messy enough for one day, but just for the sake of posing a question. How did you feel about the term entanglement? How did that make you feel some type of way? Not even necessarily you, but the listeners for sure. How did you feel about the word entanglement? Is that something that you could see yourself trying one day? A little side entanglement, or
everybody's using that now,
right?
Everybody.
And they're overusing the hell out of it.
Well, they're gonna replace "it's complicated" with this.
The situationship.
That's right. They're going to replace both of those with this. This is going to be one of the top things of 2020. Maybe. This is going to be like thought.
Don't misuse it. Just use it properly if you're going to use it.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say, last thing I'll say, because we got to get out of here.
Come on, final thought, Jerry.
But, right. To say that. Is that I didn't think she used the word wrong, and I don't think that she downplayed it by saying that word. I just think that her energy is down. It feels down, like she's downplaying it. But we'll have to put a pin in it, talk about it next time,
right? Because we could do conceptual semantics all day.
Man.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
But we will be bringing you more of the same next week, and like I said, find us on social media,
please.
You'll find Braydience at Braydience, and you'll find me at better known as KP. We'll talk about the YouTube channel as well. We'll be talking about this in the meantime, probably through the week. But if you have any feedback for us, you have any questions, please hit us up. Until then, thank you for joining. The ball is in your court, and wherever you are, we so appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
Bye. Till next time.
Adios.